It's not so long ago that celebrities who wanted to make money in crypto did so by simply endorsing other people's tokens, NFTs, or even Ponzi schemes, or crypto exchanges as they used to be called. People like Matt Damon, Tom Brady, Larry David, and that little fella from the Lord of the Rings movies fronted huge advertising campaigns for crypto exchanges. I was disappointed to learn earlier this year from court documents that Snoop Dogg was paid around $1 million to perform as a bored ape at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2022. I suppose it makes sense that they paid him to do this, as a quick look at YouTube shows that the official music video of his Bored Ape song only got 3,600 views over the last 2 years, and at least 3,500 of those views were me. It's basically been on repeat play here the whole time. Well, that and the vacuum cleaner song by Razzle Khan. Everything changed in 2024 when celebrities like Caitlyn Jenner and Iggy Azalea launched their own meme coins. Yesterday, I learned that launching your own meme coin had become so mainstream that the FBI even launched their own token called NexFundAI, which, let's be serious, is a terrible name for a crypto token. What's wrong with Fed token or FBI ENU? Maybe those ones were already taken. According to the SEC, NexFundAI traded for only 9 hours, which doesn't sound long, but it does beat Rishi Sunak's NFT for Britain, which no one seems to talk about anymore. So there's that at least. Go USA. The FBI created this token, which operated on the Ethereum blockchain along with a fake company in order to ensnare crooks, which seems a bit mean-spirited of them. They apparently met up with crypto market makers to discuss employing their services. One of the defendants allegedly described himself to the FBI agents as the mastermind, explaining that his company used bots to buy and sell at the same time on centralized exchanges to generate trading volumes. This is known as wash trading and is illegal in securities markets. According to the press releases, as late as last week, this market maker's bots were still making millions of dollars worth of wash trades in crypto markets before being deactivated at the request of law enforcement. According to a Department of Justice press release, 18 individuals and entities have now been charged for widespread fraud and manipulation in the cryptocurrency markets. I mean, who knew that this sort of thing was going on?
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Charges were unsealed this Wednesday against the leaders of 4 cryptocurrency companies, 4 cryptocurrency financial services firms, known as market makers, and employees at those firms. Apparently, 4 defendants have pleaded guilty, another has agreed to plead guilty, and authorities apprehended 3 other defendants in Texas, the United Kingdom, and Portugal this week. More than $25 million in cryptocurrency has been seized, and multiple trading bots responsible for millions of dollars worth of wash trades for approximately 60 different cryptocurrencies have been deactivated. 3 market makers, ZM Quant, CLS Global, and MyTrade, along with their employees, are charged with allegedly wash trading and/or conspiring to wash trade on behalf of the FBI cryptocurrency company and token created as part of the investigation. A 4th market maker, Gotbit, its CEO and 2 of its directors are also charged for perpetrating a similar scheme. Zeke Fox at Bloomberg explained in an article earlier this week that the investigation started with an SEC tip about a crypto company called Saitama, which we'll come back to shortly. Investigating Saitama led authorities to cooperating witnesses who helped them set up the FBI crypto token NexFundAI. And in video calls and Telegram chats, market makers offered to manipulate the price of this token for the FBI, which it turns out was a bit of a mistake. If they would only have implemented some sort of know your customer type rules, maybe they wouldn't have all of these problems right now. Before we go any further, let me tell you about today's video sponsor, CookUnity, the first chef-to-you meal delivery service made up of over 90 chefs who believe that great food should be for everyone. We're talking about chefs who are Food Network alums, James Beard Award winners, and acclaimed restaurateurs. Meals are delivered fully cooked, so all that you have to do is heat them up and you're ready to eat. With CookUnity, it feels like you're eating in a different restaurant every night of the week, and the food is healthy and delicious. Each week, award-winning chefs craft hundreds of globally inspired meals, from vegetarian to paleo and everything in between. Meals are delivered fresh, never frozen, and the menu rotates every week, so there's always something new to try. Tonight I'm eating the barbecue pulled chicken by Chef Chris Rattel. I really like the creamy butter chicken by Banu Kakarparty and Brad Turner, and the Baja-style fish tacos by David Aiden. The subscription is super flexible and you can pause, skip weeks, or cancel at any time. CookUnity chefs offer up a wide range of meals with over 7 different dietary preference filters, including vegan, paleo, and gluten-free options. Get 50% off your first order of CookUnity meals. Go to cookunity.com/pboyle50 and use my code pboyle50 at checkout to try them out for yourself. Thanks to CookUnity for sponsoring this video. There are a number of court cases to look at here, but according to the documents, the defendants are accused of making false statements about their tokens and executing wash trades in those tokens to create the appearance of trading activity that would make the tokens look like good investments. Now, of course, that's playing fast and loose with the meaning of the term investment, but we'll keep going. There are dog-themed cryptocurrencies coming up, and for some reason that's always where these stories end up. According to the court documents, the deceptive tactics employed attracted new investors and purchasers and resulted in an increase in the token's trading prices. The defendants are alleged to have sold their tokens at the pumped-up prices, and the largest of these tokens, Satama, at one point had a multi-billion-dollar market value. I did a quick check, and it might surprise you to learn that the price of that token was up 17.5% yesterday, a full day after the announcement of these charges, with a market cap of just over $11 million. These guys don't seem awfully smart to me. The same people appear to have another coin called Sata Chain Coin, and it's not a star performer either. It seems to be down 98.77% since it was first launched, which means that if you buy it now, it can only fall by an additional 100%, which is the worst case scenario. There is, of course, a website and a Twitter account. We should probably check those out, right? On Twitter, they have a pinned tweet that says something innovation, and then a little spaceman animation with logos on all of the planets. And this is all important stuff. You're not going to hit a multi-billion-dollar market cap without a decent space-themed animation. If we scroll down, it says that business operations will continue as usual, which is great stuff. It then says that we're aware of the allegations. Thank you for your patience. That's never really a good sign, is it? I guess it's better than when that little fella from the Lord of the Rings started tweeting out those single-letter tweets every few hours till it spelled out what happened. That wasn't really confidence-inspiring at all. These guys are getting much better. Now, it says here, we have been advised that no additional information regarding the allegations against Manny the Hitman will be available until next week, and that seems a bit worrying. Let's see who Manny the Hitman is. He sounds intimidating. Oh, look, it's a nerd in a corporate logo t-shirt, the worst kind. It's really only a nerd who's going to give himself a nickname like Manny the Hitman. He'll come up with that one himself. It's a bit like that guy who pretends that other people call him Mr. Wonderful. No one calls him that. This kind of reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza wanted to be given the nickname T-Bone, but instead got nicknamed Coco the monkey. It's lucky that nothing like that happened to Manny the hitman. Anyhow, let's check out their website. It says here that we can talk to an expert. That might be helpful. Oh, it says error for site owner, invalid domain for site key. I feel they misled us a bit on Twitter when they said that business operations would continue as usual. I don't know what to tell you here. I wonder if they blew the whole corporate budget on that little spaceman animation for Twitter. This isn't exactly confidence inspiring. So let's go back to the legal complaints. So the cryptocurrency companies are accused of hiring financial services firms, another term that's being used quite loosely here, that they call market makers, to wash trade their tokens in exchange for payment. Now, one of the defendants who's pleading guilty described their market making to a prospective client by explaining that the objective on the secondary markets is to find other buyers from the community, people you don't know about or don't care about, which is an interesting definition of community, because, he says, we have to make these other buyers lose money in order for us to make profit. So that's a thing. It can't all be scamming and manipulation, though, can it? Yeah, it can. Another crypto market maker is alleged to have told potential clients that if you guys have requirements on the price, for example, like pump the price from $1 to $2, we'll give you a plan. And that seems helpful, I suppose, but also really quite illegal. Okay, so what does a market maker do in traditional finance? Is it the same sort of thing? Well, no, it's not. Different exchanges are organized differently. The New York Stock Exchange has individual securities specialists who work on the trading floor and specialize in facilitating trades in the specific stocks that they cover. Electronic markets like NASDAQ, where there's no physical trading floor, rely on a system where there are multiple market makers who keep an inventory of the stocks that they make markets in, and they stand ready to either buy or sell securities for or from their own accounts to their customers. The average number of market makers for a stock on the NASDAQ is 14, and market makers are required to give a two-sided quote, meaning that they must state a firm bid and ask price that they're willing to honor. Once an order is received from a buyer, the market maker fills them with shares from their own inventory to complete the order. What they don't do, which they do seem to do in crypto, is have lots of bot accounts that buy and sell stock in wash trades, slowly manipulating the price so that it can be dumped on a retail investor. On a stock exchange, market makers make their money by capturing the bid-ask spread when investors trade with them, and they compete with each other by giving good prices to investors so that they can get fills and capture that spread. In crypto, according to the SEC, a token issuer pays the market makers to provide on-demand market manipulation. And I should note that the SEC press release refers to them as so-called market makers, which I guess is different to a market maker. The U.S. Attorney's Office wrote in their press release, the message today is, if you make false statements to trick investors, that's fraud. They go on to say that the 4 crypto market makers and their employees are accused of spearheading a sophisticated trading scheme that bilked honest investors out of millions of dollars. Once again, I worry that we shouldn't be calling the people who put their savings into something called NexFundAI investors. There's an argument that the kind of person who thinks that this is a good investment was going to lose their money anyhow, and in a way these so-called market makers just provided liquidity to allow them to lose their money a little bit faster, which possibly leads to a more efficient market. The SEC explains that the FBI retained a so-called market maker called ZM Quant to support trading in NexFundAI, which was sold as a way to so-called invest in early-stage so-called artificial intelligence projects. Now look, many people would say that the best way to invest in early-stage AI projects is to find some early-stage AI projects and invest in them, not buy a crypto token that the owners of these early-stage AI projects will not have heard of. It seems like a convoluted approach. But then again, the comments on my videos are often filled with people saying that I just don't get crypto. Employees of ZM Quant are accused of counseling the backers of NexFundAI on how to artificially drive up the price of the token before cashing out at the peaks. According to the SEC complaint, ZM Quant's trades amounted to more than 80% of NexFundAI's trading volumes, and I guess the other 20% were so-called investors. All right, maybe I've been hard on the so-called investors. Who am I to criticize someone who committed their savings to early-stage AI companies in a contrived manner so that they could build an AI so powerful that we have to flee to Mars to escape its wrath? What else were so-called investors being scammed with? Ah yes, Robo-Inu. Sorry, I feel dumb even knowing that this exists, but yeah, so-called investors in so-called Robo-Inu got so-called ripped off, allegedly. Do you need me to even tell you what Robo-Inu is, or can you already guess? Okay, they have a website, and I'm starting to notice that all of these websites look exactly the same. It says, inspired by NASA's ambitious plan to launch robo-dogs to Mars, Robo-Inu Finance aims to build an efficient circular ecosystem that brings together the best fintech resources. Join us and be a part of something revolutionary. And I can't help but think that if they said, join us and be part of something stupid, they might have done a little bit better. There's nothing about their so-called mission statement that makes any sense or would involve anything revolutionary. Just be straight up about it being another uninspired dog-themed cryptocurrency. Tell the so-called investors how stupid you think they are, and maybe they'll just give you their money anyhow. I really should be working in crypto marketing, but it's not what I do. According to the complaint, Robo-Inu was promoted by a woman named Vi Pham, who also helped launch Saitama. So maybe she's friends with Manny the Hitman. I imagine at crypto conferences, she probably told people that she was mentored by Manny the Hitman to impress them. But anyhow, Pham, it seems, contacted a so-called market maker called Gotbit, as despite having spent $250,000 actual dollars on marketing, the response from so-called investors had not been satisfactory. So she and her team, I mean, do these people have teams? Okay, she and her team said that they were thinking about increasing the volume via a so-called market maker. She explained in a group chat, which the FBI have access to, that the purpose of hiring a so-called market maker was to increase and maintain trading volume to attract so-called investors to her stupid token. The complaint says that Gotbit personnel confirmed that they understood that this was the purpose, and they communicated with Pham and her band of merry men about ways to create so-called investor FOMO through artificial trading volume. A fellow in the Telegram chat called Vladislav Trader stated he was trying to trigger organics, which the SEC helpfully explains means individuals or entities other than Gotbit to buy her godforsaken robot dog-themed cryptocurrency. So bag holders, basically, or members of the community who can be counted on to hold bags. Pham and her team allegedly paid Gotbit $3,000 to $6,000 per month to allegedly manipulate the trading volume of Robo-Inu through automated wash trading on Bitmart and Uniswap. A guy named Fedor Kedrov from Gotbit allegedly told Pham and her team that he could achieve any volume you want and recommended that Robo-Inu start with $200,000 in artificial daily volume. A month or so later, Vladislav Trader posted that organic volume accounted for less than 10% of Robo-Inu's total trading volume. The rest was Gotbit trading with itself through automated wash trading. I found an interview with Vi Pham on YouTube where she seems to be suggesting that small businesses could pay staff salaries in Robo-Inu.
or small businesses who are able to, to pay the salary in robo finance token, or even accept RBIF as a form of payment.
Now, I can't help but feel that that might be a deal breaker for most employees, but who knows? Maybe the rest of us are fools for accepting money that we can spend as salary. Maybe in a few years' time, Robo Inu will be the new reserve currency, and the comment section here will be filled with people saying, "This aged like milk." Anything could happen. Wait a minute. Is this what FOMO feels like? Now, the US Attorney's Office posted a link in their press release to a form for so-called investors in these so-called cryptocurrencies to fill out. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. If you lost so-called money trading these so-called tokens, you can fill out that form. Now, just so crypto investors don't get angry at me in the comment section, I'll say that not all crypto is fraud. Even in these terrible examples, we can still see that up to 10% of it is also bag holders or organics. If you enjoyed this video, you should watch this one next on the scale of political contributions coming from the crypto industry to both Democrats and Republicans, with the hope of reducing regulatory oversight on the so-called crypto industry. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, CookUnity, using the link in the description. See you in the next video. Bye.